So Arsenal 2, Brentford 1. Kenny Ken, you were at the ground. Dominant first half.
Yes.
And then the bozo goalkeeper gene kicked in. And straight away, they're back in the game. Out of absolutely nothing. Mikel Arteta must be absolutely seething at halftime. The players must have been seething at halftime. And then it was a bit of a slog and a sluggish second half. The goalkeeper nearly got lobbed from 40 yards out. And we weren't really creating a great deal. We probably should have had the game buried. 29 should have scored in the first half to make it 2-0. But we got out of jail, mate. Benjamin White today, for me, was man of the match.
Two crosses.
Absolutely quality again, Declan Rice. Yeah. And 29 was very fortunate to stay on the pitch because he should have been booked for diving, which would have got him sent off. We should have had a penalty on Trossard. But ultimately, 29 comes up clutch again. 4 goals on the spin in 4 games, Kenny. What did you make of it?
You know, today was a different kind of game. I thought Brentford came with a game plan, which they nearly executed. Can't knock it. I thought Ivan Toney held the ball up fantastically well for him. But you're right. You know, we scored pretty early in the 18th minute. And then you would thought we would just we would sort of like carry on. But there were times in the first half where, you know, our prices went a bit astray. And, you know, we looked a bit probably leggy. You know, Saka was had his customary 3 men on him. And, you know, Trossard, there was a chance in the first half, is it, where Aaron Ramsdale puts a great throw in, but you look at it and you think, bloody hell, if that was Martinelli at the end of it, that could be a goal. But in saying that, you know, it was catastrophic what happened with Aaron Ramsdale. Because I was talking to the, you know, guys around me. I said, look, mate, don't try and get this guy to do what he's not good at. Just let him be himself, and we have to just work around it. Because, and again, the calamity. You know, I wasn't too happy with Saliba giving him the ball, but then again, when Saliba gives Aaron the ball, there's no danger whatsoever. But then, when Aaron gets the ball, instead of just relaxing and doing what comes naturally, he's overthinking things. And when he's overthinking things, by the time he's thought about it, Wizards rocked him, and then we go into the, you know, like the setting off. Oh yeah, by the way, there was a hush, and I mean a hush. It was people. I couldn't speak for at least 5 minutes after that went in, because what can you say? You can't say anything. You really cannot. You're so speechless about what happened that you can't criticise him. You can't, you know, talk about it, because you're thinking, oh my God, did that really happen?
And you're in shock.
You're just in shock, because, don't get me wrong, there were a few like calamitous situations before he got replaced this season, and also as calamitous situations last year against Southampton. But you're thinking about, you look at it and you're thinking, you're in shock because it's happened, but you're even more shocked. You're thinking, can a change of goalkeeper really affect the whole performance that badly? Because it looked like, you know, and I know it sounds probably perverse, it's probably like a David Icke kind of theory, or, you know, Ryan Garcia theory, because I know he's a bit like David Icke, but I was thinking, bloody hell, if Raya was in goal, would that been that amount of panic? Would we play a bit differently? Would we be able to play at high tempo? Because with Aaron, as much as he's trying to pass it at the back, it doesn't look natural. So when he's kicking it long, and he did it a few times in the second half, he's giving the ball to the opposition. And I looked over to the manager, and I looked at the manager and said, yeah, you've probably got this one right. Because, you know, you don't want opposition, one, to have any kind of control of the game, or get into the game, you know, win those second balls. And that's one of the reasons why Aaron's not in goal. And, you know, it wasn't all bad for Aaron, because, you know, I said he nearly got lobbed from the Tony. He made a good save from a header.
For a very theatrical, I mean, it was a good save, but he makes everything look so dramatic when he's in goal.
It definitely. I think what it is that, you know, goalkeeper, they always say to be a goalkeeper you have to be mad, and I think this guy really is certifiable. He's actually mad.
Do you know who he reminds me of, Kenny? Yeah. Joe Hart.
I thought you were going to say that. Yeah.
Joe Hart was so pumped up before games.
Yeah, I think Aaron's like that as well. I think with Aaron, the fact that, you know, a massive club has come in for him, he placed you know, a German kind of international. He's probably third choice to go with Germany. and he's got his place, and he felt he cemented it. But the thing about it is that lessons for anyone who plays for a big club: never ever rest on your laurels, never feel comfortable, because you know what, it doesn't always turn out like that. You know, if you rest and you don't develop your game, you don't improve, then what happens? Someone else will come and take your place, because styles do move on. You know, your opposition do work you out. They'll work out your strengths and weaknesses, and then who knows what can happen. And unfortunately, that's what happened to Aaron. Aaron was, hush hush, quietly replaced. But you know, he does have an effect when he's in goal. I'm not saying it will happen with other players, but you look at Brentford away. You know, his how do I say, stress levels on himself.
He was giving it the bird party to the fans.
But Brentford away, he caused a lot of panic by his presence. And I thought in the cup game, he caused a bit of panic. And it's the thing.
But this is what I didn't like, Kenny. Yeah, right. He should have been walking off of that pitch today. Right? Maybe he don't give a shit anymore because he knows it's probably being sold in the summer.
Yeah.
But he should have been walking off of that pitch today, absolutely disappointed. Instead, he's standing there, giving it the bird, giving it all back to the away fans, and giving it all the big. And it's like it's all about him. Come on, man.
Yeah, but you punctuated your point by saying he knows that there isn't a future for him at all, and you look at the way he's played when he has come back in the team. You know, the results have been mixed. You know, lost against Liverpool in the cup, lost against West Ham in the cup,
nearly every game.
And so the questions are not where he's a good number one, is where he's a dependable number two, and and that's showing probably not. We still won the game, and you got to remember one thing is that one of the positives of today was the fact that it is good to see Partey come off the bench. It is good to see Jesus come on the bench. So players are getting fitter and fitter. But when you look at games like today, I think it's a sign of things to come in terms of like how teams are going to play us, our energy levels, and we probably may not see those kind of like I said, those brutal thrashings that we've seen in February. In terms of like the brutal thrashing of West Ham, the brutal thrashing of Sheffield United, and the brutal thrashing of Burnley. I think we may have to win games a different way because.
Do you think? I want to ask you as well. Sorry to cut you off, but obviously we've gone down the negative road. Yeah,
not really.
No, but I say negative, but people are going to cry and go, "Oh, why are you digging it out? We won the game. Shut up."
We're here to analyse what went on.
Analyse what happened. Exactly.
If you just talk about the positives, then you're not going to be able to discuss the fact that Brentford nearly got a point and why they nearly got a point. So the way I look at it is that you have to, do your job properly. We can all be,
by digging out stuff. And I want to ask you as well, Declan Rice. The fact that nobody's mentioning the fact that he cost 100 million quid, and the fact that he's coming up with big moments, and he looked amazing against today. Do you know what I like about him, Kenny? And I said this on the back end of my cam, right? He's walked into Arsenal like he deserves to be there, and he's so proud to play for our club. Yeah, and he's walked in like you at Real Madrid. He's walked in like I deserve to be here, and I've landed. Yeah, he's been superb this season.
Oh, it's undoubtedly he has, and again, it's about confidence. The fact that he's the thing about what Arsenal did well was probably buying Declan. He's already had about 3 or 4 years' experience of first-team football with West Ham, so you're not buying a kid who's played only about like 20 games. He's been the captain of West Ham, so he's had that kind of leadership experience. The fact that he's international, he's got about probably nearly 40 caps. So what you're doing, even though the lad's only 23, you bought a guy who's had experience. For instance, he's a guy that you don't have to kind of micro coach because he knows his way around a football pitch. And I think that's what happens when I know this goes back a long way, but you look at the Liverpool sides under Paisley, into latter stage Dalglish. The reason why Liverpool were able to dominate because they didn't just buy young up and coming players. They bought players who had at least 2 or 3 years' experience of playing high level football in the first team. So when they came to Liverpool, they could fit into the way of playing. And I think that's why Declan's such a really good buy. Is that he's already had his appearances. We don't have to wait for Declan to sort of like come good.
Yeah,
He's already had that big. He's had that big game experience. Let's not forget he's a European champion. You know, last year.
And he's been in the semi-final the season before that. West Ham.
And semi-final, and he's played. He's played in the European Championship final for his country, or his second country anyway. Got to get that one in. Plus he's played in the World Cup. So this is a guy who's a seasoned player. So we shouldn't be surprised that it's got that the tag shouldn't be heavy, because at the end of the day we bought him at the right time. We didn't buy him when he was 19, 20, hoping that he was going to be something. We bought someone who's a ready-made player, and that's something we were calling for. Yeah. Not just under a Mikel. We were calling for that under Arsene Wenger. We didn't like the fact that, Arsene was going, all right, this is guy, one of the best youngsters in Brazil, one of the best youngsters in France, one of the best youngsters in Holland. What we wanted is that we wanted players with sufficient experience who could come in, who can bring their leadership qualities, but also their actual footballing quality to the team, and then take us to another level. Buying Thomas Partey, again, a player who's played in big games for his country, played big games in Spain. That's why it's seamless when he comes to the football club. The experience. You've got Jorginho as well, who's one thing really. That's the level of player that we need at Arsenal. Don't get these up-and-coming players who've got to wait to grow. Have Declan's experience. So it shouldn't be a surprise. And that's where Arsenal have to look in the future. Get players who played 3 or 4 years in the first team at their particular clubs, regardless of what league it is, and you'll see better quality and you'll see better performances from around the squad. Yeah,
100%. I just had a look. He made his debut in 17-18 season. Yeah,
exactly.
He played a lot of games that season.
Well, he scored his first goal, professional goal, league goal against us in 2019.
Yeah, it was.
So that was 4 years. That was about 5 years ago. So by the time he's joined us, he's had over probably nearly 200 games for West Ham, and he's played obviously international football for the Republic, and he's nearly got 40 or more caps for England. So that's what you get at £105 million, worth every penny.
100%. He's on 48 England caps, and he's on West Ham. He played 245 games.
Exactly. So that's the caliber of player that you'll play.
Perfect player.
Exactly.
But yeah, listen, get home safe, mate. Appreciate your time always. Make sure you follow Kenny 1972. It weren't an absolute mauling today, Kenny, but we can't do that.
Let's just say you don't win leagues by beating teams 5-0 all the time. Although Chelsea did it about 14 years ago, but you catch me drift. There's going to be some hard games. Villa at home, it's going to be hard. Wolves away, Brighton away, Spurs away, City away, Man United away. There's no give-me's. If we get through that,
back and lick our chops with a feast of football tomorrow.
Definitely. It wouldn't make any difference because Dave, we got to do our stuff and be influenced of our own destiny. If you want to win the league, the best way, the only person you can rely on is yourself.
Facts. We're out of here, guys. Take care.